It's so good. You have
All
to.
right.
You have
So
to
as
watch
you were
it.
saying, Justin, let me just say this: Firefly is not like a low budget Star Trek. It's like something else entirely. Here's the best way I can describe it. So Star Trek's main idea is that aliens showed up, and humans who usually fight amongst each other to see who's best looked out at all this alien life and went, "Let's do better than them." And I can honestly see humans doing that. I can honestly see us going, "No, we can do better than all these guys." And let's like coming together as like one planet, right? That's Star Trek. To just be like, fuck everybody else. We're gonna be the best.
Okay.
Kind of competitive. We're just crazy.
And then Firefly
start like this, and this won't give anything away because they didn't get far enough in the show to really explain this. You had to like be a real nerd about it to learn this shit. But in Firefly, we never found alien life, and we left our planet because the planet was dying. And two superpowers, United States and China, like built shit and took as much people with they could to another solar system that they terraformed into livable planets.
Okay.
Which is fun. That's important because you'll be weirded out why everybody in the show is talking both English and Mandarin. Like they will just switch back and forth.
That's it. So I'm on episode 3, and I'm already like looking at holes and I'm like, wait, why are there like actual like guns? Like this is really stupid. Like why would you have a gun to, you shoot off a gun and it misses and you got a hole in your fucking, your ship. Yeah, it's weirding me out. Like people wearing like fucking, I don't know, Western wear. I'm just like,
that is part of the terraforming part, because like some planets were terraformed really well, and those are rich planets, and they look very futuristic.
And then you got these like common fucking Little House on the Prairie ass motherfuckers. Like
those guys got terraformed on planets that are like,
shit.
Places on Earth are shit. Like the Mongolian steppe, the American West, Texas, places where people are like, fuck, we're gonna have
they were like giving away land. They're just like, maybe you can do something with it.
And that's why
the story of Texas.
They literally were like, well, we have to survive here somehow.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the show really fucking awesome, is because we never found alien life. So we're pretty much the same. We're just living in space. And it's kind of fucking interesting to watch. And so it's
okay. I'm like I said, I mean, I have gone through everything that is Star Trek. And now I'm like, and I just
we'll do that together. We're gonna watch the movies.
I've watched the movies.
What?
Have I watched? Yeah, I've watched mostly all of them. I watched the 90s ones and I watched the mid 2000s ones.
Okay, what about the 80s ones?
Have not.
1 through 5?
No. Wait, what's the name of number 5?
The Undiscovered Country.
I only know Wrath of Khan.
I've watched Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan.
That's like the one you have to watch, right? Like,
yeah.
But it's the penultimate Star Trek movie.
I watched that when I was a kid. So like because my mom's a Star Trek fan. She wasn't really Star Wars. That was like my thing. But my mom's Star Trek fan, and I would watch it at random. And then obviously now, like I guess I got into Star Trek in my 30s, my late 30s. Thank you, COVID.
This is going to be my hottest take, but I love The Phantom Menace.
Oh, really? Young people. No, young people. Let young
Get
people
out, young sir. I know that somehow is your childhood. Oh, God.
Let them have that. I used to be upset too, like you, and I've learned to just let them have it. Just let them have it.
God.
I have not experienced a feeling I've ever felt in my life than the time I watched Darth Maul open his lightsaber for the first time, where it was like,
Darth Maul was cool.
I can imagine being your age for the first time and being like, what the fuck is this? But for us, it's like a whole way, like it was a whole second or third wave of generation of being like, okay.
It's more Star Wars.
Yeah, but I have, when I started to appreciate Darth Maul? Clone Wars.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
The guy who played his voice it was excellent. And I really you get deeper into the lore. Everything about 1, 2, and 3 just was so I don't know, it was so surface level when Disney took it over, and I was like,
the sequel trilogy.
I wonder who
ass.
feels like that in the Star Trek world. Who grew up watching Star Trek and now hates Discovery and Picard and stuff. That's how I feel.
Sir, I like Discovery and I now really appreciate.
I'm gonna let you have that. But now that's how I feel. The way you felt about episodes 1, 2, and 3, movies 1, 2, and 3, that's how I feel about the new Star Trek. It was like a kick in the balls to me.
But all of what do you call it? Why am I going blank? Sorry. All of Clone Wars and Rebels, which a lot of people slept on Rebels.
Rebels is heat.
But now with all of the new stuff coming out, like Ahsoka and like just pretty much everything that Disney's going in the direction of, if you don't watch Rebels, you are fucking lost.
Completely lost.
You don't know who Admiral Thrawn is. You don't really understand like who this Ahsoka lady is. Like you have to go back and watch Rebels and Clone Wars and Rebels. And now what do you call it? Those little short films. Oh, Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch.
Bad Batch is a motherfucking dope. No, the little like 15-minute thingies.
Oh, Visions?
Not Visions. The other ones. Star Wars Tales or whatever. The one of the Jedi. Yeah. Because it's got that episode like finally it gave an episode of what's his name? Count Dooku. It gave a nice little backstory of Count Dooku, and I was like, damn, he was like kind of like low level badass, but like I like that they kind of like, I don't know, expanded on him a little bit in those.
Explain his lightsaber, because in the book it's awesome, but in the movie they never actually explained it. So did they explain?
Yeah, they were just like, oh, here's this dude, he's a separatist, and then oh no, and now he's dead. Like, all right, well,
in the book they really went into him, and he's really cool. Yeah. The reason why he has that lightsaber that's all weird looking was really awesome, but they were like.
Yeah, like his fighting style is
reverse dildo.
It's like he's got a fencing style. It's like
fencing, which is better against other lightsabers, but not so great against blasters. Which is why almost nobody uses that.
Yeah,
because they don't fight each other. There's no more dark side. Well, there was dark side, but they didn't think there were any more Seth. And I thought that was really cool. But they never explained that in the movie. They just like, here's a guy, he's dead, let's go. And I'm like.
My favorite thing that they have done so far with the Star Wars IP is after they made everything that was Legends non-canon,
right?
And they've slowly started to introduce stuff. The fact that they made Delta Squad from the Republic Commandos,
yes,
they made them canon again, and I was like, that gives me hope that we're gonna need a sequel for that game in 2005.
For me, everything now Disney, like I now can bow down to Disney because they had the money, but they just didn't have the vision. They didn't have the vision right. But Dave Filoni, shout out to that man. Dave Filoni is in control of a lot of the new shit coming out. And he is like, fuck that. Like, you clearly see the kind of money I'm raking in for you guys from Clone Wars and pretty much everything else. Let me do my thing. And Filoni's doing so good. Oh,
in Filoni and Favreau, we trust.
Yes.
For me, it was Rogue One and Andor. Because I was surprised. I'm the Star Trek guy, so the stuff that was more not so much good and bad, but more
less
like
pew pew. Yeah.
Was the stuff that I really like, and not everybody likes that stuff, but I love that stuff.
Well, and that's true fans. Like, I had this whole debate with my brother because my brother he loves all the pew pew. He just give me like
Star Wars,
give me like pew pew. But Andor had none of that. But excellent storyline, excellent acting, just beautiful. It was beautiful, and it was refreshing to not have to always see all the pew pew and bzz,
That's what I liked about it. That's what I liked about Rogue One too. Was like more about these people. I love the idea in Rogue One of people, the rebels having to do shit that fucked them up in the head, things that they didn't want to do to the point where it was like messing with them.
Yeah.
They never really studied that in the Star Wars movies, and I don't blame them. They're a movie. They're like really quick and stuff, but they're really that idea. It's brilliant, and I love.
Yeah.
If I can get more Star Wars stuff like that, I'll become way bigger.
Oh, dude, that's where they're going. That's where they're going. And I mean, the fact that like even this last season of Mandalorian, like you like everybody sees like, okay, yay, the rebels beat the Empire. All right, like, and you think like, oh, everything's gonna be good, and good has defeated evil, and now life is supposed to be great. No, like that just happened, and then it's like, oh snap, we gotta like govern and shit. And then I like that it showed like human or just just people being like, well, yeah, like yeah, we did that thing, but we're not so great at the whole like governing thing. Like like you're supposed to govern all these planets, and some of the planets are going to be like resentful because you got pirates and stuff. You got other like residual people from the Empire who's still trying to fuck with you, and you call the police. It's like in our real world. You call the police and like they're not, and they're not even here, fast enough to handle the crime kind of thing. You're like, well, what the fuck I need the police for? I can either do my own thing or I'm gonna like, I don't know, get protection from the gangs or something. Like, I like that. I think it's pretty cool.
However, we should probably get on to why we're here. Hello, welcome to Lone Star Sake.
There's that.
I'm Caleb. This is Justin. We went off a very tangent before we even got started. Today is a special episode, mid-basho, which we never do, but we did it because we wanted to talk to our special guest, Ben Marquez. Ben, say hello to the people for us.
Yo, what's going on, people? I'm excited to be on. I got my strong zero, and we're ready to talk.
I'm jealous. For those that don't know,
I don't know actually. Why don't you explain it to me?
Yes, strong zero, which I found as a youngling going to Japan. It's a very it's basically the White Claw of Japan. It is, but even stronger. Hence the name, Strong Zero. These things are amazing. They never used to come in the tall boy cans, but they back when I was going but they recently started making more of the big boy can, like the big tall boy cans. It's nice. It's fairly light. I don't know. It's a light. I think it's a light drinker. When the original flavor is kind of a lemony lime flavor, but they sell them at every Family Mart and 7-Eleven, which are like everywhere, every hour of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You want to turn up at 3 a.m., run to the Family Mart and handle your business. But it is amazing for I guess starting your night out. If you want to start your night out cheap, I would say it's about a little less than probably about $3.
I paid $1 a can.
There, see, it's gotten even. The USTN has gotten crazy cheap. So, dude, it is insane. But Strong Zero, I have had too many crazy, stupid nights where Sammy hates me with Strong Zero and 2 big tall boys, and you're set, and then you don't have to spend as much on the drinks at the bar. And you can drink in the streets in Japan. Just talking to all my Team USA motherfuckers. So handle your biz.
Harry,
just don't walk and drink. You'll get looks.
Yeah, there's weird rules about eating or drinking while walking. Japanese, you're not gonna get in trouble, but it's technically rude. So like if you were to you can street drink, but go sit on a curb, and nobody looks at you. Go sit on a curb. But if I'm walking with my can and drinking, you get funny looks. There's all these tiny little unsaid rules, but I guess people figure those things out. You can look on YouTube and find a whole bunch of people who talk about weird etiquettes in Japan.
Paulo from Tokyo, that's my guy.
Yeah.
So I am not drinking anything from Japan or America at the moment. I'm going south the border, little Dos Equis tonight.
Cerveza.
I love cervezas when it starts getting hotter. It's my favorite summer drink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always get drunk, but when I do, I drink
Dos Equis.
Dallas Sumo Club.
Yeah, we're throwing down
This
the
episode is sponsored by Dallas Sumo Club.
We
Shout out to Corey and Siggy.
Okay, so you're probably wondering why we're here since we're just talking nonsense so far. We are here because we want to talk to Ben, who just got back from Japan.
Beer, beer, beer.
For this,
one of two Bens that got to see
that's actually kind of cool.
Tochinoshin on his final days.
Oh
Okay.
God!
Before we go into the Tochinoshin sad stuff, I would like to go into some happier stuff. I first want to talk to Ben about getting to do a thing that like a lot of us English-speaking Sumo fans wanted to do, which is get to meet Hiro from
Sumo Prime Time.
Yeah, Sumo Prime Time. They only say it 15 times an episode. I don't know why it popped out of my brain for a second. But Ben, break that down because you said that you're going to actively look for him. But the fact that you actually found him and were on the show and then shouted out on his next show was amazing.
Yeah, he did.
Why don't you talk about that with us?
All right.
Should have shout out Dark Circle. Damn it.
Should have.
Texas Sumo completely. This is different. This is international.
Yeah, we got Texas Sumo.
Yeah, he didn't say Texas Sumo. I heard him say it.
So I got to the Kokugigan at about 8:15 that morning, and I was like, okay, I guarantee you he's probably not going to show up until about Juryo. So I was hanging out. It was probably about 11 o'clock ish. You can probably timestamp those because I texted you when I found him.
Yeah.
But I was walking around, and there's a little part on the north side, like facing out to the street of the arena, where there's like some steps up, and there's a nice, just beautiful little garden, and you can see the roof behind it, and it's a perfect place for a shot. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna walk up there just one more time just to see, because I'd done probably about 6 laps around the arena at this point trying to find him. And there he is, cameraman recording. He's Sumo Prime Time. So I walk past him, like I'm like, it's him. It's fucking Hiro. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna like not be like obvious about it. So like I walked by, I did my little, oh my God, it's him double take. And then I walked down the stairs and I sat there and played on my phone until I waited for him to be done shooting. And so he finishes shooting. He goes, all right, let's go. And before he can even start walking, I turn around and I go, sumimasen, Hiro-san. And he turns around and he goes, oh. And I'm like, I walk upstairs. I'm just like, I'm a huge like fan of the show. Like, my name's Ben. Like, I was so excited I could barely talk. My hands were shaking. And he goes, oh my God, like, that's awesome to hear. You're a huge fan of the show. And he goes, do you want a sticker? And I'm like, yes. So the sticker is now.
But motherfucker, I always want to be on your show.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, how do I get on the show? And so immediately I'm like, yeah, like I do sumo in America, amateur sumo.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm from Texas. And I'm like, everyone in America in our sumo community loves the show. And like, he lit up. So I told him I do sumo. I do sumo in Texas, amateur. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, everyone in the community really loves Sumo Primetime. I've been a big fan. I've been a watcher since the channel started and all of that. And he was just like really like grateful. His face lit up. He was very happy about it. He just loved hearing that. And so, we got to talking and he was like, so you say you do like amateur sumo? And he's like, so like, do you do the US Sumo Open? Well, and I was like, no, I haven't done it yet. The most recent one I did.
Your senpai. Come on. Yeah. God dang it.
I should
have.
No
shout outs. I got no shout outs. All right.
I was so in the moment, but I told him, I was like, like I was at one most recently with like a Gagamaru Zeki, and like that was really cool. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. And then so he goes, hey, do you want to do a Sumo Primetime for the camera? And I was like, yes. Like, what kind of question is that? Of course I want to. And so he goes, well, since you're a Rikshi, do you want to do, the Shiko into the Sumo Primetime? And I was like, absolutely, we have to. And then that's when you'll see the video in the May, for the May
Sumo
tournament.
Primetime.
Dude, I was so just I was loving it. I was in the moment, living for it.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, did you get a chance to walk around Sumo Town and I mean, give us your experience. Did you buy anything? Did you get a kimono? Did you like what talk about it?
Yeah, so the first day in Tokyo, I woke up at about 4 a.m. So I chilled out in my hotel, had breakfast in my hotel, and then I was like, okay, first thing I'm doing, I'm getting my Suica card, and I'm going over to the Ryogoku. So I spent from about 7 a.m. till about noon in Ryogoku City, just walking around. I stopped at every Family Mart and 7-Eleven on the way.
Well
Every
done.
single one. I hit
Well done.
every single one. But eventually come about 10 o'clock, I think that's when the store opens, I hit the store Liendo. And so that's the store where sumo wrestlers go to buy their clothes because they make clothes sumo wrestler sized.
Oh,
So I went
I
there.
saw that. I seen that on I think they did an interview with Hakuho, or was it Hakuho?
Kaisei.
Kaisei.
They went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't want the Kaisei. Yeah. Sorry.
So I went there.
Continue.
And I actually bought a yukata there. I walked in, I go in my very broken Japanese. I go, yukata onegaishimasu. And they're like, ah. And so they give me three patterns to pick from. So I picked the black one, of course. It's really nice. It's black with red spots. Yeah.
Well done.
And so I get it on fitted. It fits like a glove. Perfect fit. And then I go, obi belt. They go, oh, yeah. And they bring me 3 options again, and I have to go with a black one with like white stripes and like polka dots. It looks like
yeah.
Skies. It looks really sick.
Yeah, this boy's getting tailored.
So I bought that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Caleb,
I was like, damn.
Caleb,
like,
add this to your
awesome.
checklist, sir. Add this to your checklist.
Liendo and Ryogoku. Everyone that is sumo size, go there.
Yes.
But so I bought it, walked out wearing it. And I stop at Family Mart. I'm eating something, and a bus full of school children drive by. And I'm eating my food, and I look up, and there's one kid on this bus sitting there just waving at me, right? He's waving. And so I wave back, and the entire bus loses their fucking shit. Like, the kid's like, yeah. And the kid that initially waved to me, he's like fully pressed up against the window, and he's like yelling. And so there's 2 buses. The back bus is the one that's losing their minds. The front bus, they start waving at me, and I wave at them too, and they're just going apeshit ballistic. And like their teachers are looking and smiling. I've got like the hugest smile on my face, and then the light turns green and they turn, and I mean every single kid until like they were around the corner was following me through the window, like just screaming and waving. It was the funniest experience I've ever dealt with. Like I was like, oh,
well, they thought that, they thought for damn sure they met a Rikishi,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I looked the part. My hair was slicked back.
Yeah. Looking like a Jonan Don, looking like a Jonan Don Rikishi. Hell yeah. Damn. Okay. So tell me a little bit. So you had a blast in Sumo Town. All right. And did you get to go, like, did you have fun in Tokyo? I'm not much, for me, I'm not much of a Tokyo, like a West Side Japan person or East Side Japan person. Like, my wife's from Osaka, so most of my time I tend to spend in the Osaka area. But did you tell me about your experience in the Kanto area, in Tokyo?
Definitely. Yeah. So actually, first day I was there, after going to Ryogoku, I went to Yokohama. That was an interesting experience because I got lost like 3 times getting to Yokohama. But I went to the Gundam factory in the Yokohama Bay.
Okay.
It was like a mecca for nerds of like the mech anime. I walked in and immediately I had like tears welling up my eyes because they've got a 1-to-1 scale mobile suit that moves, and I was just like taken aback. So that was incredible. I spent like 4 hours in there just like eating, seeing how it was built, shopping at the store, and then watching it move. And so after that, I ended up meeting a friend in Shibuya. He's stationed. He's not like that, but we'll get to that. He's stationed,
all right.
stationed over there. So very, very like cliche. We met at the Hachiko statue
Okay.
and like walked around. Yeah,
For
of
those
course.
that
I got
don't
a
know,
picture
the
of
Hachiko statue is like there's a dog that it's a famous little statue. And it's a dog that has, that waited. Like, I guess his master
died
died.
He took the train and he died.
Yeah, he took the train and died. And the dog waited there at the train station every single day for him to come back. And unfortunately, until it died. But it was, sad thing. But these are interesting little tidbits about the trains in Japan. I actually just watched a little documentary on YouTube about a cat that was like that would hang around like the train station, and like the guy, I guess somebody had like put on like he would hang right where you like put your tickets in and stuff, and like somebody had put on like a little train conductor hat, like a little tiny train conductor hat. The cat didn't even give a shit, and so he became like the ticket holder of the station, and it became this huge thing. And so they even when the cat died, there were like hundreds of people at its funeral. Like it was like this big, huge funeral thing for the cat, and then the cat's like child or whatever became the new train conductor cat, which is currently. So I think next time we go back, we're actually trying to go on that station. It actually saved that train station because it's out in the countryside, and nobody was using the train. But because of this cat, it revitalized that train stop, and they turned the train car into like a cat car or whatever. Japan has some pretty interesting stories.
Some quirky stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're find at the dog statue.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we met at Hachiko statue. We got yakiniku at a place called Bebuya. Really good as like A4 Wagyu, solid stuff. And that night I had a reservation for the Muscle Girl bar. And so it was about 6 o'clock at that time. And my reservation wasn't until 10. So I was like, fuck it, let's go kill some time at karaoke. So I booked a room for 2 hours. And initially, the first thing on my ticket was I had to sing every single song from the Yakuza game series.
Nice.
So if you follow me anywhere on social media, there's video of me singing Baka Mitai in horribly off key, but I had fun. That's important. But yeah, so we did that for a couple hours. We just talked and hung out, because it was the first time I met them in person. At least I've known them online for years. It was really cool getting to meet them. But we then go to the Muscle Girl bar, and so the Muscle Girl bar is in Ikebukuro,
which we will put a screenshot of you in the Muscle Girl bar right here.
If they send it to me.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I was so funny thing. Like before he went, like I've been watching at random. Usually it's on a Friday night. I don't know why, but Friday day or whatever. Anyways, the Muscle Girl bar is a bunch of very voluptuous, buff, like women. Super buff young women in Japan, and they run a bar. And literally, like
I think we figured that out from the title of the bar.
Yeah, but that's not a thing that's here in the U.S. It's nuts.
You say Muscle Girl bar, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna figure that one out.
But you can watch them on Twitch.
Title.
You can watch them on Twitch. I think that's the best for me. The best streaming. I don't know. Like so, I watch them on Twitch regularly, and to see my boy Ben in the bar, I like screenshot like 100, like it was like a bunch of them. Like every time I saw Ben, like I was just like, like I was screenshotting. Yeah. They've got like a workout bench in the on the left or the right side of the bar. It's nuts. So, anyways, sorry. Ben, like people don't know what these things are when you say, "Oh, muscle bar." Like you have to like explain it. Please
I'm
talk
pretty
about
sure
your
Muscle Girl
experience.
Bar, everybody would figure out from the title of it. I'm just saying.
I don't know. You gotta give him a little something.
All right. Go ahead, man. You were going to
This is
Muscle
where
Girl Bar.
Caleb. If we go to Tokyo, I'm taking your ass.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh, he's like, all I want to do is sumo.
Muscle Girl Bar. Muscle Girl Bar.
Yeah.
I would I want to say, okay, for those who don't know, if I ever went to Japan, I'd spend all day doing sumo stuff. I don't really care about anything else. I'm a little obsessed, guys. If I went to Hawaii, I'm not joking, I would spend the entire time doing sumo. Beautiful beaches, all this Hawaiian stuff, and I'd be like, who's doing sumo right now? Because I'm going to do sumo. I would be like, John Jacks, just tell me who's doing sumo right now. Vieras, tell me. I'll be doing sumo. That's all day. I am obsessed in a way that's just not healthy sometimes.
Which is a good thing. But then that's why you have me, the little devil on your other shoulder. That's like, now let's go have fun.
You've got two devils on your shoulders, me and Justin, because we're both like, go to the Muscle Girl Bar. Go to the Muscle Girl Bar.
I do like big women. Everybody who knows me knows that. I do like them big. Yeah. Big and strong.
Well, and imagine these beautiful women pouring your drinks and then encouraging you to go work out at their station.
Yeah, that does sound a little bit fun. So
Ben, please. Also, please let them know what other entertainment can happen at this bar.
So, okay.
I want to put that video.
So this bar has different options. They have a tipping system called muscle dollars, and it's 1,000 yen for 10 ducks. So one, it was like 5,000 yen, all you can drink, no mihodai. That became my best friend while I was over there. I was hearing that. But the drinks are sumo sized. That's what they called them.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love anything sumo sized.
Huge pitcher. They were huge. So I chugging them, taking them back. I had 3 drinks and I was blasted, so drunk that I was like, okay, I have to taxi back to my hotel because I cannot do a train. But
they did you right, sir.
They did, absolutely. Shout out to Fuka and Maru. Those are my
I watch Maru all the time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love Maru. But so I got 10 muscle dollars, and for 10 muscle dollars, you can pay one of the girls to slap you in the face.
Yeah.
And it's not a weak little slap.
No.
It's hard as fuck.
Watch this video. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Just you better send
it is hard as shit. I'll send you the video. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll get it.
Yeah, well, so both of us, we got.
She lines it up. She lines it up, right? And she winds it back, and she just smacks me hard as fuck in the face. In the video, you can see my head like stuck to the side. I swear to God, I thought I had a concussion, but like my whole left side of my face was red and like tender to the touch for the rest of the night.
You said something
so
like
that was.
Oh no! Go ahead. Sorry.
Sugoi! I yelled it loud as fuck. I yelled Sugoi loud as hell after she slapped me. It was a good slap. Good. But so my favorite part of the bar, the night's winding down. We got about 10 minutes left of our reservation, and the salaryman, he's like in his early 50s at the youngest. He pays for Maru to kick him in the ass as hard as she can. And so you get this salaryman. He's still in his Japanese work clothes. He's drunk, still in his work clothes. His tie is still on and everything. Bent over their bench press machine, and his sticking his butt out for her to kick him, and she kicks him hard. Like it was a solid thwack when she hit him. And he not only like did not react, he thanked her afterwards. And I was like, yeah. All I could think of that moment was dudes rock. Like,
yeah. He's like, oh yes, thank you.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. But
Dude,
my God,
I guarantee you, he probably, all day long, he's probably, salary man. He's just getting his ass. He's getting his ass kicked verbally, you know, and just from work, and he's just like, it's just probably his solid. That's his solid release. He probably goes home and sleeps like a baby. You know,
I guarantee you. I was like, that's the best way to end your Friday night right there, getting your ass kicked by an extremely buff bartender.
Yep.
Yeah, that place was
welcome
insanity. To Japan. Yeah, welcome to Japan. So
now, did you get any? We'll move on from Tokyo. Did you get any time on the west side? Did you get any like Kyoto, Osaka, anything fun?
Yeah, I spent the day in Kyoto. My day started in Kyoto at Fushimi Inari. I made about 3/4 of the way up the mountain before my knees were just like, "Hey, bro, like, what the fuck?
Need
like,
to stop."
Why you do this to me? Yeah, he's like, "You need to go down." So I was like, "Okay." So I made about 3/4 up. I made it to the last shrine before the top shrine. So you know, I got a good ways up, and oh my god, it was just beautiful. I fell in love with the city of Kyoto during that climb.
For those of you like, and again, I know a lot of Team USA is going to be watching, and a lot of people who haven't been to Japan. Kyoto's very strict on the types of buildings, the type of signage, the type of lighting. Like they try to really keep it super old school and traditional. So when you go to Kyoto, or if you go to, there's a couple cities that are similar, but you feel like you've traveled back in time. And because you got it's such an opposite of Tokyo, where Tokyo, the buildings, the lights, the everything, and like the craziness. And then Kyoto, and the west side of Japan is just, it's just super chill. You're in like Demon Slayer era buildings. So I love it, and that tends to be more my pace. I think that is probably. I would love to do one night with Caleb in Tokyo, but I think your pace, Mr. Caleb. I think Kyoto would be your jam.
How much sumo are they doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of sumo. The girls
that's all I care about. I don't know how many times I got to explain that.
I can't.
200 a day and drink at night. That's pretty much all I give a shit.
All right. Anywho, sorry. So talk more about Kyoto.
Yeah. Oh my God, Kyoto, just beautiful. I stayed at a ryokan, Yuzuya Ryokan, in Kyoto.
What is a ryokan?
It was right. So a ryokan is a traditional inn. You walk in and immediately you just feel very much like you're a samurai, coming in after a long travel. I walked in, they gave me my little woodblock slippers. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. I felt like that was really cool.
Talk about the hotel experience. Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, after checking in, they showed me my room. They gave me a yukata to wear. Didn't fit me. So I was like, that's okay. I brought my own. But I sat down and they were like, we're bringing you some just welcoming gifts. And it was tea with pickled radish mixed with their yuzu juice. It was so good. Just like the experience was amazing, and my room overlooked the shrine in Gion Street, which is where you see a lot of like Michael and Geisha.
Yep.
It was just it was a wonderful experience. Like I will absolutely be staying there again. It was a very small ryokan, only 8 rooms. Like,
oh shit, that is
very, very limited.
Whoa.
Yeah, very low volume. Yeah.
Now, traditionally, most ryokans are smaller, but that was small. But for those who are thinking about traveling to Japan and going to stay at a ryokan, like the customer service is next level. Like it almost weirds you out how much like you're just like when you think about it, it's already been done. When you're like, oh, I'm in my room, like, oh, I guess I should probably because your room will typically be, it's tatami mats, and you're like, oh, well, where do I sleep? Don't worry about that. Check in, go do your thing. By the time you have dinner, and they'll tell you when dinner is ready. By the time you have dinner, when you get back to your room, someone has already pulled out and made your bed, and boom, a bed's there. You go do and then sleep, wake up, go to breakfast, and when you come back from breakfast, it's gone. Like they are very attentive to all your needs. Like it's very next level, and I think that everybody, shout out to Zombie Mommy, everybody who is going to Japan this October is gonna really understand the level of customer service that that's in Japan, and it's everywhere. I mean, if you work from the corner store to to a 5-star hotel, the customer service is just next level. It's amazing.
Truly unmatched.
I never get tired of it.
Yeah, no, that added to the feeling too. I felt like a lord the entire time. I was.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm the Shogunate, like today I will do taxes.
Would just bother me, but I'm a different kind of person.
No, you just let it go. Just let it be.
Well,
let it go.
Embarrassing the entire time.
No,
I'm the exact same way. But
you like Caleb. You might be like, no, you don't have to do that. That would almost offend them because
I won't offend everybody because I get embarrassed. I get embarrassed when people do stuff for me. It's really hard to deal with.
Bro, sit back and enjoy the ride, bro.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Trust me. I was the same way, but oh my god, like it was so just like worry free, and like it felt great because I stepped out probably about an hour and a half after checking in. So I went to the bath, cleaned myself up. So I was sweaty after Fushimi and Ari. Got back up to my room, changed, and then went out because I was going to go to Kichi Kichi Omurice. So if y'all don't know what that place is, very famous omurice place. The owner's like quirky, wacky. He's like, hi, yo, like the entire time while making the dishes. He's famous. Like if you look him up on YouTube, you'll see him instantly. But I tried to go there. They were unfortunately booked out for the night, so I went to this ramen place, and I was like, "Oh, like this is gonna be good. Like it's tourist-friendly ramen." And I ended up paying $50 for ramen, a shochu, and a Coke. And I was like, "Okay, that was a tourist trap." Yeah, I was like, "That's a tourist trap," but the ramen was good. Like I can't complain. The ramen wasn't bad. And then after eating that, I was like, you know what? I need a second to digest my meal, and I went down and sat by the river and just kind of soaked it all in. It was just an incredible view. I mean, that was another moment where I just fell in love with Kyoto. I looked at the building and I was just like wow, this is beautiful. Like if I couldn't live in Tokyo, I would live in Kyoto. That's absolutely how I think. But yeah, I sat there for about an hour and I just kind of soaked it in, let my food digest, and then I went up to Family Mart, grabbed a Strong Zero and a Katsu Sando, got a taxi back to my hotel, and it was about 9:00 at this point, and my bed was already made, and I was like, you know what, like this is nice. I turned on and watched Japanese TV until I fell asleep, which that stuff is insane. I love Japanese TV.
Dude, Caleb, I cannot. Dude, I really want to be with you for your first experience in Japan. Just saying. It's gonna weird you out, but you'll be fine. I'll be like, just roll with the punches, sir.
Because like Elizabeth said the same thing about Vegas. And
Vegas is baby shit. Vegas is baby shit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This man doesn't know yet.
People, including people in Japan, who fucking love Vegas. Like it's their favorite place in the world. I don't get it either. You know what my favorite place in the world is? Texas. I live in the place that I want to live in. I love this place. I love the music. I love the food. I love the people. You do without the politics, but everything else in the state I fucking love.
You gotta go to Japan.
I love
listen, sir. We can take you out there.
I will go out there with y'all.
When I'm there for a few days and go like, we're not doing sumo, can I go back to Texas? You're gonna be like really pissy at me, and I apologize in advance. I know how I am where I go everywhere.
See,
no,
I was worried about finding things to do, but we'll find things that are not sumo related that you will love, and I know it because, dude, there's something for everyone there. Just genuinely, like I had so much fun.
Well, there's something for everyone for places you go. I mean, I just talked shit about Vegas, but their fucking medieval nights thing was the best thing I've ever been to. Like that was the best shit ever. And Justin missed the fuck out, and he should have fucking been there with me, screaming and yelling and eating fucking food with your hands. Like,
oh god,
you would have loved it, Justin.
Well, comparing Japan to Vegas is oil and water. It's a whole those. It's don't like.
But compare it to my favorite place, which is Texas.
I'm saying yes.
This state.
Now there are other things outside of Texas, sir.
And I get bored in less than a week all the time.
Nah, you won't get bored. That
tell me about that stuff all the time. They tell me that in New York. They tell me that in Florida. They tell me that in California.
Dude, bro, go out of country. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Mexico, Canada.
Toronto left such a bad impression on me. I hate Canada now, man.
Oh yeah, I wanted to hear about that. I know we're going through this stuff, but like I saw that.
Yeah, what happened?
About the airport.
Dude, the Toronto airport sucks ass. I hate Toronto airport now. So one, going through customs to get into the country was a nightmare. I had filled out my stuff to enter the country beforehand, and then I scanned my passport and it said your documentation is incomplete, and I said no, the fuck it isn't. And then like none of the TSA knew what the fuck was going on. They were like, you go here, and I was like, okay. And someone else was like, that machine's broken. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I finally have to go speak with an agent, and they're like, what are you doing in Canada? And I was like, I have a layover. And they're like, where are you coming from? And I was like, Tokyo. And they're like, what did you do in Tokyo? And I was like,
none of your goddamn business. Traveling. Fuck you.
Yeah, I was like, well, they were just like so unnecessarily rude about it. I know it's their job to ask these questions, but I was like, you can like be nice. But yeah, so that was Saturday. God, Saturday. Yeah. And then the next morning I had to go through, and it was an hour and a half to get through customs to actually just enter the terminal.
Damn.
Jeez. Yeah, dude, it was a fucking nightmare. It was the worst shit I've ever had to deal with. Fuck Toronto. I hate Toronto. Drake, go fuck yourself. Like, I hate you.
Yeah. I hate him in general.
But back to Japan. So the Saturday after I arrived was my birthday.
What did you do on your birthday?
Well, I went to have fun times. So I went and explored Asakusa and a other area in Asakusa that I now realized is the red light district of Asakusa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell this story because it's
doing
funny.
Big things in Japan.
Doing big things, exactly. So there's a neighborhood called Yoshiwara. Yoshiwara is a red light district. I saw that there was a shrine there, and I saw that there was a park there. And so I was like, you know what? To start my day off, I'm going to eat breakfast in the Yoshiwara Park. So I get dropped off at the park, and I'm like, where the fuck is the park? It's just concrete. And my taxi driver is already gone. He's fucking zoomed like, the second I got out of the car.
I know what this man's here for. And it ain't
like I've got my little Family Mart bag with my Pocari Sweat, my Boss coffee, and my Katsu Sando. I'm like, where the fuck is the park? And then it starts raining, so I'm like, shit, I need to walk down the street. So I start walking down the street, and there's a guy in a suit, and he's like, hey, come over here, Soapland, fun. And I go, oh shit.
Yes, sir.
immediately I'm just like, daijoubu, daijoubu, daijoubu. And I'm like walking.
He's like, no,
No,
go.
no. I was like, no. I said, I'm a pure little boy, please. No. But yeah, so I walked down that street, and I mean, every single building on that street was a fucking soap land.
Damn.
Every single building. And so that amazed me, one, because the laws that are in place at those places now, where you're not allowed to build a new building.
Right.
If you are operating as a soapland in that building, you are not allowed to build it or do like any renovations.
Right.
So the fact that all of them were right there, I was just very impressed. I was like, wow. But yeah, so I walked down there, and that whole area was just soaplands, and I was like, that's good to know to not return to there.
And for those who don't know, the soapland is where you go and
you get a bath.
A young lady bathes you in all the areas, and
you fall in love.
And you fall in love, and you finish up clean. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. One, I was amazed at how
like. I mean, Caleb, you gotta get clean for sumo. No.
I'd be too. I'd be like, no.
I was amazed at how many places though were trying to get me a foreigner to come in. That was the thing that impressed me. So many of them were like, come on, like, we know you're a foreigner, but come on in. Like, come on in. We know you're a foreigner.
Yeah, gaijin. Let's go.
I was like, no, I'm okay. Daijoubu.
Yeah, Caleb, you'll be a little dirty, but after a good hard day of sumo, and then you want to be, nice and squeaky clean. Nope. Or you want to be rubbed clean.
Nope. But I do it myself. Yeah. I can take care of that.
Now, but isn't it fun? For someone else,
But needless to say, anyways, from there, I fucking booked it to Sensoji Temple. I was like, this is not what I expected it to be, so I'll just go to Sensoji that day. And I spent time in Sensoji. That place was beautiful. I got the best fortune I could get out of my little stick. It was 87. I remember that one very clearly because it was the best fortune I could get. Spent some time there. I purified my face, doing that.
Nice.
I spent about like 2 or 3 hours in Sensoji, just walking around and seeing everything. So by this time I was hungry, and we're like, okay. And I found an izakaya right next to Sensoji. They also did nomi hodai, and I started off with a whiskey highball.
Yes,
I love me some highballs.
Yeah, when you're in Japan, that is the staple drink, the staple cocktail. I don't even want to call it cocktail, but whatever.
I've always loved the whiskey highball myself. They're freaking delicious.
Yeah,
that is good. That is the regular go to. Like, how a random basic person is like, oh, let me get a rum and coke. Fucking highball.
I love rum and coke.
Well, that's Japan's rum and coke.
The highball is.
You say, oh, highball, onegaishimasu, and everywhere.
How'd they get the highball though? That was an American thing from the
I don't know, but it is you can go to the classiest of places or the tiniest of hole in the walls. Everyone has a highball on the menu. Period. Yeah. And they're cheap.
I didn't know because I've always enjoyed highballs.
Yeah.
Rum and Coke is my go-to drink. I love it.
They were solid highballs.
Bitch.
Rum is delicious. Coke is delicious. You put together, you get double delicious. I don't know what you want from me. I can call basic for someone drinking White Claw right now. So that's.
I'm a hardcore basic bitch right now.
Yeah, but those highballs were good. I had about 3. One was a oolong highball with oolong tea.
Oh, fancy man. Okay.
Yeah, so that izakaya bill was about $50, and I was like, you know what? That was the best $50 I've spent so far. And then I walked down.
$50, and you got like food, right? Like the little, because izakayas usually have like little. You get little fried things on a stick, little like chicken skewers or whatever. So $50.
Chicken skewers sound good.
I had I had a lot of good food. It was like I had one dish. It was like a skillet with Wagyu beef and French fries. It was fire, delicious. I'm thinking about it
What?
still, and it was like $20 for that.
That's literally
Just
why
that.
I do travel, even though I love Texas, is because I love to experience food. Anywhere I go, I do
Oh,
love food.
the food
Yeah.
is so good. The food is so good. Oh my god, I love the food.
And
But
just to throw it out there, have any of y'all been to New Orleans?
Of
yes,
course, of course.
God
Yes.
damn. As much as I love food from around the world, New Orleans food just is
slaps.
shit, dude.
Mhm.
I love Cajun food.
Oh no, it's insane. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there. It's probably my favorite place that I've ever eaten is New Orleans. It's just like
So
every
good.
place you go, it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, here's great food. Okay.
Yeah.
Mom and pop holes.
Well,
But
all right.
after that,
So I was gonna say let's wrap it up a little bit.
Okay.
I gotta pee.
okay, yeah, I'll get into the sumo stuff, but first I went to a maid cafe also. With a
Oh,
friend.
come on, eat.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The maid cafe was an interesting experience.
I would like
But
to take Caleb to a maid cafe.
now let's get into the sumo. All right, the meat, the real fun part of the trip,
Yeah.
and every part of the trip was fun. But I went to sumo. I went to day one of the May tournament. Very just fun. I got to see Daiki Nakamura, his first ever professional bout. He lost, unfortunately.
Oh no!
No, it's cool to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was interesting. It was really cool.
Summer.
Yeah, he looks complete. He had like facial hair, and I was like, "Whoa, he looks different." Like
Oh,
he's got
okay.
like the patchy beard, but yeah, so he looked a little different. I sat there. I watched the lower divisions. We got the Juryo. My man Tochinoshin, R.I.P. He's not dead, but he's retiring. Um,
He wants to rest.
I got to see. Yeah. Oh,
Shout out.
it broke my heart because I just watched him and I was just like, you could tell he was done. You
Yeah,
could tell. I mean,
dude, we've been saying that on Sake and Sumo, just kind of like we said, he's definitely retiring this year, and it happened in the third basho.
yeah, he was like.
There's a look that lets you know, yeah, I'm out of gas.
That was exactly what I saw, and it was just like I was like, that broke my heart. I of course I was like touching the shin, yelling for him when he was up, and then he lost, and I was like, I saw the loss, and I was just like, he'll be gone soon, and then 4 days later he announced his retirement. I saw Inho
Who is still yet to fucking
win.
win.
He lied. He is not good from that neck injury he had during practice.
He should have withdrawn.
Even when he loses, you see the heart. You see a fantastic match. Even when he loses, except for this basho, he's not even giving good fights anymore. He's injured. He's hurt, and he just doesn't want to give up because he's close to getting back. But it's play, dude.
Just take a break.
Take a break.
But I got to see, when we get up to the top divisions, I have a very hot take about one of the matches,
All right.
Aoyama's match. There was a mono-e called on Aoyama's match, and the victory decision was reversed. I think it was a bullshit decision. It should not have been reversed. Aoyama won. I think he won. Absolutely think he won.
We'll have to go back to the slow motion on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
From my angle, the guy he was going against, his hand was already down before he stepped out, and they swapped the decision. I thought that was a bad call. The people around me even thought it was a very bad mono-e. They believed that it was a bad one. So that was interesting. That was a little bit of controversy. And then I got to see the man, Teruno Fuji. Seeing him
Mr. Suge Knight himself.
Seeing him perform the doyoi, and everyone's going, Yoshio! As he stomped. Electric. I had chills watching that. It was beautiful. He made his match look so effortless. Like he won before he stepped in the dojo. That's the best way I put it.
That's,
I could
that's
put it.
Yokozuna energy. That's that
Yeah.
Yokozuna energy.
But yeah, that was an incredible day. And then I ended it. Just I went straight to bed afterwards because I was exhausted from just the amazement of it. But yeah, that was a lot of what my trip was about. Was my birthday and then sumo. Later on in the week, I went to Shinjuku, met some very nice people, made some new friends. My line actually is blowing up now because I made so many friends.
Hey.
Shout out to Hotel Listo in Kabukicho. Y'all can Google that one if you want, but shout out.
Hotel Listo, like hotel ready. Okay, a little Spanish. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to talk a little bit about the sumo stuff that we saw, or what we're at to at this point, since you brought that stuff up. Asayama looking great. We thought he would, but just fantastic. I mean, he should be blowing up the lower Magashira.
Yeah.
But he is, and that's exciting. I'm really pumped about Tanafuji is much better this Basho than I thought he would.
He lost today.
A couple of losses in the first week, and he only got his first loss now. And gets a guy who's killing it, Meisei, who we know he's streaky, but considering the fact I never thought he'd be so streaky that he was up in the top division after the first week, that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, Terunofuji is on fire. He looks like he looks in good form.
He's fantastic.
I will say, on that first day of the tournament, I was watching him and I was like, oh yeah, like his knees are like he's not as low as he can normally get. Like you could just see like his knees were still kind of achy and bothering him. But I mean, he also had surgery. How many months ago? Like, so obviously he's still going to be probably not at 100%. But if that's him not at 100%, him at 100% is going to be just dominating. Like he looked amazing. It was like watching like a man against boys, literally.
Yeah, I know he ragdolled Kim Bozan like real solid. He made like I think that was on. I think it was on Saturday, but I think Sunday we did a show. It was me and Caleb, and I was just like, dude, I've never seen somebody make a fairly large man look light.
Yeah,
like that was pretty nuts.
I was also been really impressed with Takeisho because he's obviously freaking in pain. His legs are wrapped up like a mummy. He can't get up and down and off the doyo very well right now, and he's like in so much pain with his ankles and stuff. And yet he's 5-3.
Yeah,
that's fucking impressive too. If you're in a lot of pain and you're still 5-3,
warrior spirit.
God damn, that guy's fighting hard. He's really he obviously when you watch him, he can't push as hard as he normally can. He can't
no,
as fast as he usually does, and yet he can still beat some of the top sumo wrestlers in the fucking world, and he's probably gonna hit his 8, and that's really fucking impressive. And I was really impressed with that. And all the Sekawakis look good so far. I thought all 4 of them have been fantastic.
And that's why they're sitting right there underneath the leaderboard, getting ready to pounce.
We're getting new Ozekis. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting a little low.
I'll get there. Hold on.
Oh, come on, sir. Oh, damn. You just drank all.
Look, I'm a little low.
I was like, damn.
Let's get our final drinks. Ben, thank you for coming on. Obviously, your favorite podcast, Sake and Sumo. We're definitely better than those punks and kabooms out there. Or I don't even know what the third one's called. What's that other one called? I don't know what, whatever.
Not so grand. The little sumo highlights. I don't know.
I've never heard of them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Who are those guys? Yeah,
I don't know. Thank you for joining us at Sake and Sumo. Come back again. We're gonna have a post thing, and get your sumo on, guys. Get your sumo on.
Get your sumo on.